hang out with me for a day. Now we are officially running late. Yeah, and we can talk on the walk. I'm sorry, you missed about 90% of that commute. We gotta be quiet. I was almost late. The segment was about the medication called Zepbound. The active ingredient in Zepbound is called terzepatide. It's also found in Monjuro. These two medications have the same active ingredient, just at different doses. Essentially, what the study found was that participants in the study who live with obesity and also sleep apnea had significant reductions in their sleep apnea after using Zepbound. The other thing I wanted to talk about was leptospirosis and rats. In New York City, wait, let me see how many rats there are in New York City. How many people? An often repeated statistic is that there are more rats than people in the 5 boroughs of New York City, 8.5 million in 2023, with some estimates putting the number of rats far higher at as many as 5 rats per person, 33.6 million rats. Right now in New York City, they're seeing a rising rate of an infection called leptospirosis, which is a bacterial infection. This bacteria can infect humans as well as dogs and rats. And in New York City, rats are the most common cause of leptospirosis. Now, for most, the symptoms can be mild. We're talking about 90% of the people infected with leptospirosis. We're talking about fever, headache, body aches, chills. But for 10% of people who get infected and be severe, we're talking about kidney failure, liver failure, pulmonary hemorrhage, or bleeding in the lungs, and even meningitis. And thankfully, the numbers overall are low when you look at the rates in New York City. There's only approximately 24 cases that were documented in 2023, but it's expected to increase. So it's just an important thing to be mindful of. This infection is treated with antibiotics. The main step in preventing is washing our hands. And the most vulnerable or the most likely to get infected, I think, are dogs. And one note here that it states from the Department of Health is make sure you wear your shoes when you're taking your trash out. That's something we have to remind people about. Now we're getting ready for the next part of our day, which is the emergency room. So I'm gonna do a quick costume change. Before we get to work, we gotta take off this makeup because the shift we're about to do is going to be 10 hours long. And yeah, we'll talk about it more on the walk there. So in Dubai, you might have seen that it's been raining heavily, leading to massive flooding. And there was theory that it was associated to something called cloud seeding. And that stopped me in the article because I had to, what is that? Essentially what happens is that people board planes, like these pilots and these engineers, or I don't know what you call them, agricultural scientists, weather makers, I don't know. But they board these planes and they release salt deposits essentially into clouds that then increases the precipitation that falls from the cloud. Now, I've read further, and apparently the flooding that we're seeing in Dubai is likely not associated with cloud seeding, but who knew you could make rain? All right, we're gonna start this emergency medicine shift. Darian, how do you manage stress? I carry one of these around. I keep this in my pocket. I popped the stress ball. How embarrassing. Someone had to clean it up. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I'm defeated. I'm gonna take a little walk and I'll come back. So that was my day. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I'm crying. All right, let's talk again soon. All right, bye, love you.